to support our kids for a balanced reading process. Really, what the end goal, like I talked about right in the beginning, is to foster student growth dealing with the reading process. So, what we can do as educators is we can think about beginning with the end in mind. And at the conference, they talked about the end in mind really being that balanced reading process, so that we can get kids to be more independent, motivated readers that, again, like I just said, have a balanced reading process. After that, or not after that, really, more as like what's connected is that students are more than levels. So we need to focus on how a student reads, kind of like I talked about before. And without this, we don't know the goals for our students or their needs, which will be hard for us, which is like that next arrow that says, this is what like will support our teaching. So when we know our students' needs for reading, then we can, it'll support our teaching. So that means that we'll be able to make more sound instructional decisions for our kids in all instructional contexts, as well as it'll help us communicate to them and to their parents on what they need as a reader. And then the next arrow is that it also, this like understanding of how a student reads will help support how we choose text for all instructional contexts. So instead of just picking a level, we'll be able to focus more on what their needs are. So, like, for example, you might have a child who has difficulty establishing the characters in a story. And so, therefore, you can pick your shared reading books, your read aloud books, and as well as your guided reading books that support character development, and then also choose strategies that can help that child become better at understanding what characters are. And then I kind of talked about this a little bit before, but then the next arrow that fosters student growth is that it can also support your communication towards your students. So when you're conferring with them in independent reading or in guided reading, you'll be able to give them concrete examples of some things that they might need. And then, kind of like with all of these put together, instead of students plateauing with reading or having an unbalanced reading process, you're really going to see your kids move to growth, which is super exciting.